Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to Lynn's Life Lessons. Hi, guys. I hope this Monday finds you well and feeling great. And guys, it's Mental Health Mondays where I come on and talk about the mental health piece. Today, guys, I'm going to do something a little bit different. It's still talking about the mental health piece, but I'm just talking about divorce, separation for children who may have some issues once their parents break up and divorce or separate. So guys, that's what I'll be talking about today. And the reason why I chose to talk about this, because I think this is something that needs to be brought on the forefront. We probably don't talk about it much, but me being a mother who was married and separated twice, been divorced twice, and I thought I'd come on and talk about children, how children are reacting to their parents in relationship, in divorces, separation. So guys, the first thing I wanted to say was we have to be mindful of our children, because whatever we go through, they also are going through the same things. We have to be mindful in knowing and what we're allowing them to see. Because right now society is like, you can do any, you can do this, you can do that, or whatever. But my biggest piece for me is making sure that we're taking care of our children's mental health, making sure we're talking to them, making sure we're listening to what they're saying, making sure we are the parent in the situations. Because back in the day when I have a total of 6 bonus children, and my 6 bonus children, I still know and I connect with. The ones I really connect with the most are my 2 bonus daughters, because I was in their life a little more than I was in the boys. The boys were older when their dad and I got together and got married. They were older, so the girls were really small when their dad broke up with their mom. And me being who I am, it was very hard at first, I think, because it was so small when when their dad broke up with their mom. They were really small. So that's when you have to really be able to step in and be the person that you need to be for those children. For me, it wasn't hard because I have a daughter, and I have my oldest daughter, and I was not married to her father. So I had already knew what it was to have a child, and you know how you want the best for that child. You want them to be treated the best that they can be treated, and you don't want them to be mishandled by going into a relationship with someone else and they start to treat them differently, or they don't treat them the way you feel like they should be treated. So this is why I'm coming on today to talk about that. And it does have a lot to do with the mental health piece and the treatment of the way you want those children to be treated. Because whoever you bring into your life, it's going to affect your children. I don't care who it is. I don't care how long it is. I mean, like for me, I've been married twice. And when you bring someone into that relationship with your children, when you first get into a relationship, it pulls slightly away from your children if you're not careful. So you got to make sure that as you're getting into relationships, you're introducing your children when you're ready to introduce, and you're talking about situations so your children will understand what's happening and they don't feel like one-sided or jilted, or, well, I can't be with mom because mom is with him. I can't tell mom things because mom is not here for me, or dad. So that's why I just want to talk about this today, because I feel like our bonus children, sometimes they get left out, and they're very important. Mine were very important to me, and my daughter and I were having a discussion today, and it's like my heart is set up differently, where I don't want to ever treat any child or anyone in such a bad way. So we were talking, having a discussion about, and my daughter now, with her being divorced, she kind of understands more, because she would say, oh, you do more for your other kids than you do for us. And she even tells people that now today. She's like, my mom did more for her. And it's not about that you do more. You're just showing You're trying to make that child feel comfortable. You're trying to make them feel loved and to know that you can be there for them, because it's going to come a time when those children will need you, and you want to be in your best frame of mind to be able to help them. So for me, that's the way I want it to be, because I've seen what divorce can do to children. With me having, me being divorced and getting into another relationship after I've had two children. So I kind of knew what it was like, but I wanted to bring my children into a happy, loving home. And I wanted them to be comfortable with who I'm with, and not really rush to call someone dad if that's not what they wanted to do. I allowed my daughters to figure out when they wanted to do things for us that. But I want you guys to remember, whatever is going on in your relationship with the person, your children see and they know. Children are very vulnerable, and they know they can see things that we think they can't see. So it's best for us to be careful, because their mental health is not like ours. They're not our age where they can process things the way we're able to process things. So that's what I'm trying to say, is they can't process things the way we process them. So when we're getting into relationships, we need to be careful, and we need to be careful not to jump from one relationship to the next relationship. And that's something I firmly believe in, because I did it. So I can tell you, it's not good to jump from one relationship to the next one, because you think, for me, I jumped from one relationship to another relationship, and I'm just an open book, because I wanted to start a family. I wanted to have more kids, and I didn't want my one daughter to be the only daughter. So I moved away, and that's when I met my daughter Karen's father. But that's another story. But I'm just saying, but it was so many red flags as to the way he would treat my child. And it was so many things going on that I did not pay attention to. So as I got older and had my other kids, I pay attention. I try to be there for my children. And sometimes everybody doesn't understand that, because what you have to remember, some people don't have that relationship that you have with your children. And for me, it's like a relationship that, a mother has and a father can have too, if they're really close to their children. But for me, I wanted to make sure that my children could come to me and talk to me, because when I was in other relationships, they couldn't come to me and talk to me the way that they needed to be. But now it's like, as I had my second set of kids, it was different. I made it so I could talk to them, and maybe in a lot of ways as I look back, I probably spoiled them, because after their father and I broke up, I tried to be mother and father to them. And I probably did more than I should have done for them, but they're grown now. So the thing about it is, I want you guys to make sure you're watching your children. You're thinking about the mental health piece, even when they're going to school or they may have friends. Make sure you're monitoring your children, and you're watching, and you're being perceptive of what's happening to them. That's so very important. And make sure you have like-minded people around them to help them and make decisions, and make sure you're having conversations, and you're actually taking out some time to do something for that child. Even if it's just, for me, when my boys' dad and I had broken up, I would take one day out of a month and take one child out, and I would take them out separately, because that would be the time I had with that child. And that made a big difference for me. And like I said, my older children, I didn't spend as much time, because I was working all the time trying to provide for the girls. So I wasn't there as much as I wanted to be. But then when I had my last set of kids, I was home more, and the jobs I chose were more family oriented, so that I could be there for them. So the thing I'm trying to say is, guys, make sure you're monitoring your children. Make sure you're thinking about their mental health as you're thinking about your mental health. It's very important, because children cannot process things the way we process them. They don't know, and they may need just your help to talk to. And then if you have family members that may have some issues, or you can be there for that niece, that nephew, that cousin, a friend, that neighbor. And that's what I try to be. I have a best friend I walk with, and that's what we talk about things. We talk about life. She's a little older than me, but we talk about life. And I love the fact that she is older, because she gives me advice on things that I should do and how you can go about doing them. And me do the same as with her, because is no one need to put anyone down, because we all go through things with our children. We love our children. We brought them into this world with the help of God. And we want to make sure that we're doing things that are positive in their lives. And as they get older, they can remember, they have a foundation of knowing that my mom was there for me. Even though it's hard sometimes to be there for everything, you need to try to be there for some things, because you'd rather be that parent that's there for them than someone else standing in the gap for you, and it may not be in a positive way. So just remember to, when you're picking your spouse or who you're dating, make sure you introduce your spouse to your children. Let him get to know your children. Make sure he's a loving, caring person that has their is thinking about your children the way you think about them, and that he's going to be a positive influence on them, making sure he's roundabout in all the different ways. And it's not easy, because you're not going to get a one fit person in your life, but you got to learn to work through some things as you're in that relationship. And just remember the mental health piece when it comes to the children and what you're going through. And if you need that help, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a psychologist. I just come on, guys, to talk to you guys and tell you some things that I went through in my life that I would like to share with you, so you don't make the mistakes that I made. And I don't have a problem saying I made mistakes, because we all make mistakes, but it's how you come out the end part of that mistake or what you have went through. My dad always said that it's not what you're going through, it's how you come out of what you have been through. So I'm coming out of a lot of things. I want to be able to share things with you guys and tell you about your children and how to do things for them. Take them out on a date, one at a time. Talk to them, you listen to them, listen to what they're talking about, ask them about school, see what's going on there. And just talk to them, guys, and be there for them, because they need us. They really do need us. And with that mental health piece, with the anxiety, the depression, and just so many things with their emotions now. After COVID, everybody's like emotional. They have things that they feel they're going through, and they feel like no one else is going through what they're going through. But baby, let me tell you something. You may be going through something, but there's someone else going through something a whole lot worse than what you think you're going through. And in the end, you must trust God in any situation. For me, whatever I went through, I'm not mad about what I went through, because I thank God I had a praying mother that prayed and taught me how to pray. I was sitting in church today, guys. I was crying a little bit, and I was sad because I was thinking about, how much I miss my mom. But as I was in church thinking this, guys, this is where the beginning was for us. My mom took us to church. She didn't send us to church. She's taught us the importance of having a prayer life. She taught us the importance of how to treat people, and that was so very important. And then my dad, he taught us how to get out, go to work, and pay your bills, and do things like that. So I had a roundabout life, and yeah, I made a lot of mistakes, but I thank God that he allowed me to see the mistakes I made and be able to share them with someone else, to tell them there's a way out of any situation. Don't forget to pray, guys. Don't forget to do your devotions. If you don't have a devotion, don't forget to get that Bible out. Dust it off, guys, and go in Ephesians and check out some things that the Bible says. Also, guys, don't forget to do your affirmations. They are so very important. Don't forget to do your vision board. That is so very, very important. Keep yourself lined up, so when all those things of the world come up against you, you can say, I am amazing. I am somebody, and I am worthy. And you are worthy, and you're worthy of what God has in store for you. But just stay in a positive way and be blessed no matter what comes your way. Know and be steadfast on knowing that God's got you every time. So guys, I'm not going to stay on. I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers for subscribing to the channel, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here, guys. Come check me out. I'm here every Monday talking about the mental health piece and letting you know how God brought me out from a lot of things that I went through in my life, and how God is definitely a blessing. And he has a plan for your life as he has a plan for mine. So guys, I'll keep you in my prayers as you keep me in your prayers. And you guys have a wonderful Monday. Be blessed, guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.